live on the coolest of the cool, the Coolie Cool Show. Yes, indeed, it is the first week in NFL, the season 2019. Hope you guys watched some football over this weekend, college included. Yes, here live on the coolest of the cool, the Coolie Cool Show. Your host Brent, and we're going to talk a lot of stuff that's been going on brewing in the past 3 days or so. All right, we're going to get into it starting right now. The Antonio A.B. crisis that's going on in the NFL, or was going on this past weekend in the NFL. Obviously, if you haven't already heard it, A.B. was already with the Raiders. There was apparently an incident that happened. We get into the general manager. Apparently from there, some more drama had unfolded. Apparently he had posted on Instagram. He said, you know what? Release me somewhere along that status. And I guess the Raiders organization took some time, a day, to think about it, and they actually granted the release of AB, which apparently AB was a free agent all the way up until 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., then any other organization, football team, could elect to pick him up, bearing with his choosing. And guess what? If you haven't already heard, I'm going to reiterate to you, you're going to know about it again. The New England Patriots signed AB to a 1-year contract. That is very quick, and that comes from the day that he was released from Oakland, the Raiders, and about a couple hours in between that until 4 p.m., I believe. Who knows? Eastern Standard Time, Central, Pacific, who knows? But he was contacted by the New England Patriots and has signed a 1-year deal with them. Unbelievable. And there's just been a lot of talk. A lot of people have kind of been shocked. And you have a lot of people who are not New England Patriots fans who are haters and hating big time on New England Patriots because they have essentially just signed one of the best receivers in the game today. Obviously, with his off-the-field antics, definitely is not attractive for any football organization to have a player doing that kind of shit. But the fact that now New England, of all the teams, has a player of that caliber, that just stacks the cards even more heavily favored for the New England Patriots to try and go back to the playoffs, go back to the AFC Championship, go back to the Super Bowl for hopefully another run at it. And yeah, kind of have to be a kind of a conspiracy theorist at this point in time to figure, during this entire off season, dealing with the Raiders and AB, what was really going on? Was this orchestrated by New England to set this up in order to get him, to lure him to New England, to set up this super mega team with stacked receivers? Because you figure, if you ain't going to AB, you're going to Julian Edelman. You're not going to him, you're going to... It's right now completely stacked. And it is ridiculous. And you already seen, if you didn't see the game, I believe the score was that New England played at home versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me just check the NFL scores. I believe it was 33-3. Yes, it was. Yes, The final score for the Sunday night's game was 33-3. Unbelievable. I mean, we're going to look at these stats a little bit. This is unfreaking real. Oh, we're going to look at the winners first and not the losers. So, let's go here. Tom Brady went 24 for 36 with 341 yards, 3 touchdowns. Julian Edelman had one reception. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. That was him 1 for 1, passing with 32 yards. He threw the ball once. Ooh, whoop-dee-doo. But you look at this. Dorsett had 4 receptions, 95 yards. Julian Edelman had 6 receptions for 83 yards. Jay Gordon had 3 receptions for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. White had 5 receptions for 56, and Danny Rosa. Look, okay, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, I'm reading you these numbers of these receivers that Tom Brady's has. And now you just added another top of the line receivers to their organization, to their team. And it's going to get crazy because think about this. If you figure this, that if Tom Brady can't go to a particular guy, he's got a ton of choices to go to. And this is why people are sitting there so angry. I mean, you should have seen some of the posts on Facebook over this. They couldn't believe it. This is another reason why people hate, and want to hate on the New England Patriots. Because guess what? The thing is, how would I put it this way? If you're a winner, you're finding ways to win, and you manipulate the system in your favor to win, you're going to get your haters. And the New England Patriots have masterminded this thing down to a science. And look, when I first heard that it was a couple years ago, when they had people from the opposite side watching and going over with signals, trying to finagle, they actually had hired people to look at the other team from their bench line to pick up on like hand signals or whatever. They were basically on the visiting section or on the outside and just kind of trying to take any information they can get. It's like sign language things what they're doing, and it's just this is the level of trickery that the New England Patriots are willing to do. This is what they're willing to do to win ball games. All right, it is absolutely. I'm not going to say absurd because guess what? In pro sports, I don't care. Even if you're down to the smallest of the less, not watched sports, athletic competition. People are at a pro level are going to figure and finagle a way to curve the bell in order to get the win, to win at all costs. You know that thing back in the day, so, it's not how you win. It's all about how you play the game. No, sorry, folks. If you heard that growing up as a kid, your coaches, your parents, or whatever, we're just trying to be nice to you. Because when you get older, it's all about winning. It is all about winning. Because guess what? No one remembers second. Hell, no one's going to remember third. Hell, if you're fourth, why are you even talked about? If you're fifth, damn you. All right? It's uno numero number 1, and that is being the top dog, the winner on top. And guess what? The New England Patriots have done this down to an amazing science. And frankly, there's been people who've kind of looked at this situation, and honestly, they're looking at this. Is this a conspiracy? Was this set up? What is this designed all along by the masterminds from New England who set this up in order to get what they always wanted? To add another addition, another lethal weapon to their offense. I mean, their defense is pretty good, but with that amount of firepower for the soon-to-be Hall of Famer Tom Brady, it just presumes to lead to speculation, talk, different things like that. I mean, good God. I mean, what do you think, folks? I mean, this is just amazing. Now we're going to look at the Steelers and their stats. Ben Roethlisberger got 27 for 47 with 1 interception, no touchdowns. Wow. 276 yards. Somewhere in the long, he should have had a touchdown. But, that's on a different discussion. I mean, we're not going to look at the rest of that because, yeah. But I'm going to go over the scores with you. Let's see. On Monday night's game, the Texans versus the Saints. If you watched that, that was an absolutely amazing ending. I was so sure that officially that the Saints were going to have this, but then the Texans came back with about a minute or so left on the clock and were able to get a touchdown. It was amazing. And then Drew Brees and company, with only, I believe, 4 seconds left on the clock, gets down, kicks the game-winning field goal. I mean, it was amazing. If you watched it, it was awesome. The Broncos lost to the Raiders 24-16. I didn't watch that much of a game because I was going to feature one of those West Coast games where by the time the game was finished, it was like midnight or 1 o'clock here. But man, it's just absolutely just, these games today, this weekend were pretty good. So also we're going to go to the scores. So let me go. So Thursday night, this past Thursday, the Packers beat the Bears 10-3. The Chiefs won their opening 40-26 against the Jaguars. The Falcons lost to the Vikings 12-20, 28-12. The Titans versus the Browns. Now, people were looking and saying, oh, this is going to be a great breakout year for the Browns. And the Browns, they got, Mayfield, he's going to bring it to them. And there was so much hype about this high-powered offense that the Browns have, and they stunk up the joint in Cleveland. So we will always know that the Cleveland will be Cleveland. The Browns will be the Browns, and we'll leave it at that. They lost in a bad showing, 43-13. The Bills won 17-16. Not a bad game. And the Ravens versus the Dolphins. The Ravens murdered and just got away with just anything they wanted to against the Dolphins. 59-10. Ladies and gentlemen, I watched that game. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the Dolphins didn't show up. They literally were on Miami Beach, sitting and chilling, and someone says, hey, you have a game. And they were like, we got a game? What game? And they didn't catch a cab or Uber, a Lyft, or anything like that. They tried to run back to the stadium. But by the time they got back to the stadium and they put their gear on, they were like, oh, the game's already over. There's no way in heck they were even... They weren't in the game. But for you Ravens fans, I don't dislike the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are a really good team. It's you, Raven fans. It's you. It's you. It's you. Because you guys think just, oh, this is amazing. Oh, God, it's Super. You played the Dolphins. And obviously anybody with any football IQ can tell you that the Dolphins weren't even in that game at all, meaning they weren't even in the stadium. They weren't even in the parking lot. They were still on I-95 trying to get to the stadium. And that's running, not by a vehicle at all. They were trying to get there, basically catching a hack. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. We'll get back to you with some more updates on this. So you heard it here live on the Coolest of the Cool, the Cooley Cool Show. Be sure to like and subscribe and also follow us on YouTube. Cooley Cool Show. Your host, Brent.